What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy Willie the Kid, and I'm back with another show. This is Eastway Boxing in association with 3kingsboxing.com, and and we are the motherfucking movement, and we're coming for all y'all motherfuckers. But today, I have a very special panel with some of the guys I respect. I got my grandfather on the show today. My man Bo Bland, what's going on?
Coño. Fuck.
I got my other guys, my 2/3. So you got all the founders of Three Kings Boxing in one fucking show. I got my man C-Bone Henderson. What's going on?
What's up, man?
How you feeling? And
I'm feeling fucking great, dude.
and I got
I'm feeling a hell of a lot young. I feel a hell of a lot younger now that we got Papa on the panel, bro.
And I got
You feel a hell of a lot better after that damn college football game.
Oh,
you damn right I do. You damn right I do.
And I got my motherfucking brother from another mother. The motherfucker that's always teasing me. I swear to God, man, I don't give a fuck how big he is. We gonna spar one day.
What's good? What's
2K,
good?
2K, the Pirate of your boxing. What's going on, fam?
Doing good, man. Always happy to support y'all fellas, man. Within the movement, we always got to support the family. So it is what it is.
Hey, man. So see, I want to get to you. Quigg versus Valdez has been announced. It's a done deal. We also got some things going on with the WBC, Jamal Charlo versus Hugo Centeno. Why don't you fill the listeners in on what's going on?
Which one you want to talk about first, man? I'll let everybody touch on it. But
man, let's go Charlo Centeno first, man. That seems to be
Charlo Centeno. Okay, FreeKings.com, Boxing.com announced this fight back at the first part of November, that the order was put in for this fight to take place. The most recent announcement is because the WBC sanctioned it for the interim title. Okay, the WBC had ordered originally to find out the number one contender. This is after Charlo's done fought. Who was it, Highland or Highland?
Yeah, Patrick Highland.
Highland, yeah.
Yeah, okay. He done fought him for that spot. Now they had ordered it again, but now they changed the order yesterday to where it's for the interim title. All right. Now, the reason I titled the article "Why Jamal Charlo and Hugo Centeno Order is All Talk," for people to open and read it more than anything. I mean, but the fact is this. Sayuman says that, whoever wins this fight gets the winner of Canelo Golovkin next. Well, no, they don't necessarily. I don't give a fuck what they say. I mean, how many times have these sanctioning bodies lied to us? It happens religiously. And my biggest part of, we pride ourselves on being unbiased. And I personally, I do it for the fighters themselves, man, because a lot of them, the bias starts with the promoter or, with the network or whoever. It's the fighter that gets the raw deal on in this situation. All right. Now, what they're doing here is they're setting an excuse, putting an excuse out there before it ever happens. Preparing excuses is what they're doing. All right. Now, I'm not sure which one fed this story to them or what, but somebody has, being in the media and stuff. I mean, this shit, I was on a show earlier with Pawpaw, and we talked about that, And
can you tell the listeners why the WBC will order as an interim fight?
Well, for money. It's plain and simple, for money. We've touched on this numerous times on our shows. I think we've touched on the Three Kings Boxing show. We've touched on the Four Corners show. I know the Prodigy's touched on his show, and we've touched on Truth and Facts. Everybody here's show has touched on this at one time or another. These sanctioned bodies are in it for the fucking money, plain and simple. And that's the only reason this was ordered for an interim title. If somebody believes, okay, that the winner of this fight is automatically going to get the winner of Canelo Golovkin next, I'll give you an hour to draw a crowd and kiss your ass in the middle of the biggest mall you can find. Okay? Because the rules, their own rules state but the winner of the Canelo Golovkin fight's got 12 months to fight a mandatory.
Yeah.
That's before we even go into the fact that the winner of that fight's going to be a unified champion. Now you're kicking in unified rules, which adds that 12, makes that 12 18, which makes the WBC's mandated this one, so the WBA or the IBF's next. You see what I'm saying? Now, I mean, that's just the way it works. So
okay.
They flat out lied to the public. I mean, but like I ended the article with, you know, if you want to buy it, you want to believe it. But the fact is, this is the same fucking organization that's investigating itself for the Adonis Stevenson situation.
So let me get this straight. It's basically bullshit.
Exactly, straight bullshit.
2K, what are your thoughts?
WBC lied.
Well, I mean, C pretty much touched on how I normally feel about sanctioning bodies, man. They're supposed to be nonprofit organizations, but you already know what's really good about how they get money under the table. And this is a protection order that they put on themselves. You know what I'm saying?
That's exactly what I said on both shows.
So basically, they went down to the police station, right?
They went to their own police
Exactly.
station and put a protection order on themselves.
Like, you guys stay away
I
from
believe I even touched on that in the article.
Exactly.
Yeah, I touched on that in the article, actually, that they're legally covering themselves. All we're doing.
Hey, Bo. We know how much you love the WBC, Bo. What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on this, man? You there?
Yeah, I'm here. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, you good. You good for now.
Well, listen, man. We all know what this is. It's a game with these motherfuckers, right? Because
Wait, come closer to the mic.
Hold on, fam. You going in and out.
Yeah, come closer to the mic.
let me take this shit off now. I want y'all to hear me clearly.
Go ahead.
Now?
Yeah, somewhat.
Hello?
Still in and out.
Yeah, okay. I'm still going in and out.
Go right now. You sound good right now.
Right now, you sound good.
Here's the problem, man, that you have, right? Think about all these belts that these motherfuckers have. The silver, the intercontinental, the backyard boogie, the YouTube prodigy of boxing special, whatever the fuck they call themselves, right? It's bullshit in the aspect of, see, what it does is it buys time for them to maneuver who they want to fight when they want to see fights, or who have the money to who has the money to make the belt more prestigious.
Hey,
and
man.
that's really all it is.
Hey, man, listen. I don't know, man. I don't mind all these belts. I mean, I got my green belt right here, the New York WBC belt. 2K got his over there in Texas. C-Bone got his in South Carolina. Man, they hand out these shits like it's candy, bro.
Man, like fucking M&M's on motherfucking Irish Day or some shit. St. Patrick's Day. But if Charlo's the number one mandatory, the fuck you need an intro belt? That's what I don't get. If you're number one mandatory, why are you giving me an intro belt? Why do I need an intro belt? I'm already your number one mandatory.
Well, they did the same thing to Luis Ortiz. He was already number one. They gave him an interim belt.
Then took the motherfucker from him.
And then took it from him. And then gave it back.
Wait a minute. The same organization that when both Luis Nery and Vargas failed drug tests, they didn't report it to after the fight. Why? Because you reported before the fight, there's no sanctioning fee. So you fight, okay, we got our money, yeah, the motherfuckers pop. Now let's have the fight again, more sanctioning fees. Right. It's bullshit, man. It's a game. And unless something is done about it, that's why I like the old days when it was one belt, the WBA. It was a lot simpler.
Back then it was called the NBA.
Hey,
That's
fellas.
right.
Hey, fellas. I think what boxing needs is what's never going to happen, and that's a governing body overseeing the whole entire sport. I think it'll be better for the sport that way, man. I don't see that shit happening because it's just too much money involved from all parties. I don't care what nobody tells me. You got sanctioning bodies that probably take kickbacks. I don't care what you tell me, man. Certain sanctioning bodies favor promoters. We see that shit all the time. I don't know what Eddie Hearn has on the IBF or Heyman with the WBC. Shit like that, man. Like
Aaron with the WBO. I mean, it goes on and
yeah,
on.
man. Like so at the end of the day, the one thing that this does is like if you're a person and you just starting out to watch boxing, this is a whole lot more complicated now than it was when we fucking started watching boxing, man.
Right.
You know, you'll figure by now they'll figure out a way to simplify the shit. But it seems like they make it more complicated, man. They tell you what's an instance? WBA, right?
Yeah.
They say, oh, we want to consolidate belts, right?
Yep.
So they match Danny Jacobs against Gennady Golovkin, right? The WBA regular champ against the WBA super champ, right? Now they fight. Golovkin wins. He's the super champ. He's the champion, right? No knee. Who has the WBA regular belt now?
Ryota Murata.
Ryota Murata.
So, but that's what I'm saying, though. They'll never consolidate these belts because you already touched on it, man. There's more money under the table. They'll tell us that, man, give us, you know, something that we may think could actually happen, you know, kind of quiet the fans down, because the majority of boxing fans are like the ones that actually know what's going on. We're like, hey, these are too many belts. We need just 1 or 2 belts, possibly, you know what I'm saying, to name a true champion in the division. So they'll say things like that to quiet the fans down. But at the end of the day, man, they're not going to do anything that loses them money. The only way that they consolidate is if it's within one organization and they just can't find anybody who wants to pay the sanctioning fees for all those smaller alphabet titles. That's the only way, dog. And right now, niggas is paying them, so they'll keep it.
Hey, fam.
Exactly.
Like you're absolutely 1000% correct. I mean, it's kind of comical, the shit that they do. Blame, man, something that we haven't touched on right now. I'm gonna blame the mainstream media.
Oh yeah.
The Dan Raphaels of the world. The
Can I say the next name? Can I say the next name, please?
Oh boy, go ahead.
You're gonna have a
That
rage.
squint-eyed motherfucker right there. You know what I mean? That squint-eyed motherfucker that keeps blocking me everywhere because he's afraid to talk real boxing. His name's Steve Kim, by the way.
Like these cats, like they have a responsibility to the public to have them be informed, to call out the bullshit when they see it, and to basically, like, you got to go on YouTube to find out this shit.
Right.
Now you can go to 3kingboxing.com now.
Yeah, you can do that too.
For sure.
That's definitely. But so at the end of the day, do y'all see this shit getting fixed, or is this gonna be
Are you being serious?
like are we gonna see a fighter one day fight for the WBC pink belt because it's November and it's breast cancer month?
Yeah,
and,
I expect the female division to come out with that anytime.
Yeah,
And,
that's a good point, actually.
like, are they gonna have like a Valentine's Day belt and shit? Like,
yeah. I don't know, but I'm kind of mad because they haven't come out one for the journalists yet, and I feel like I deserve that motherfucker by now after all this time.
Hey, no, you got to fight Steve Kim for that.
Fuck it, let's do this.
yeah, exactly.
Let's do this. I've actually been in that fucking ring a whole bunch.
So let me break it down. So we got about 45,000 belts. Nobody gives a shit, and they ain't never gonna get fixed. As long as they keep bringing in the money, people are still gonna keep falling for it. Nobody's holding their feet to the fire. So basically, we're stuck with this bullshit.
Man,
Yep.
you know what?
And
You know what, Willie? There's so many belts out there
I lost count.
that it would be, you know, a lot of these belts have their own organizational bodies. They're not under one of the top 4. So it'd be almost impossible to try to consolidate all these belts unless there's some type of agreement. Like, for example, you got belts like the African Union Championship. You know what I'm saying? You got
WBF.
You got, well, that's under an organization. You got, I'm talking these ones that ain't, like the Pacific, what is it? The Pacific Asian American, what is it? It's PABA, Pacific Asian Boxing Association.
I know what you're talking about.
You know what I'm saying?
Like, hey,
I think it's Pan American. Yeah,
that's Pan American's another one. But those,
yeah,
you know, those two that I gave are standalone organizations. that are out there awarding champions, fam. So how are they gonna get with them and be like, hey, we need y'all to shut y'all shit down? They can't do that unless they pay them off.
And then you got more organizations starting every day. The WBF. You know,
and by the
Roy,
way,
he's the cruiserweight WBF champion right now, Roy Jones.
Roy Jones Jr. And by the way, the IBO is trying to be a major sanctioning body.
Who
Mhm.
the
Trying
IBO?
to make them a major. So we might have five major
now. So we're never going to get a fucking undisputed champion.
Yeah, basically. We might have 5 major titles now.
And the fees that they charge for these fucking belts, man, are ridiculous. I think I remember when Miguel Cotto dropped the belt, whatever. I think he said something like they wanted like $1 million something for it, for the fees.
For the Cotto Canelo, yeah, it would have probably been $1 million, a little over $1 million.
Like, are you fucking kidding me, man? I don't need no belt.
That's what Canelo said.
Like,
he got enough special belts. I mean,
my only regret is that we haven't started a fucking sanctioning body. I mean, like,
man, we should start a sanctioning body, a promotional company, a management company. I mean, it's
coming.
Hey, we could outbid Bandit Promotion right now.
Oh, hell yeah. We win the purse bid against them by default. Put $10 up. $10 for 4 people. That's $40, dog. That's a lot of money to when we going against Banner.
So, see, do they have a date on Charlo Centeno? Because I know it was supposed to be January, February, but I don't see that happening now. So
no, that's moved back, and I'm waiting on a phone call right now, actually, to see where it's going to be placed at. There's talk that it might be put on the Thurman undercard. There's some other talk going on. So
that's actually not a bad idea.
It's also talk that it might be put on Wilder Ortiz.
That's even a better idea. So
as soon as I know, y'all know.
Quick prediction: who you got
in the fight? What fight? The Charlo fight?
Yeah,
Charlo.
I got Jamal by KO.
Yeah, man.
Oh yeah, I mean, I thought you was joking. That's why I said in the Charlo fight.
Yeah, but hey, we gotta entertain the listeners, man. So I got Jamal by KO, but I'm hoping Centeno says something bad about him, so he can knock him out in the first round. Maybe, I don't know.
Man, you know what you need? Fucking Derek James actually just touched on the interview me and Bo gave to him a couple hours ago. What he needs is somebody to say that Centeno is going to beat him. Multiple people need to come out and say that. Then you'll get what you want.
Oh, in that case, Centeno going to whip his ass.
Yeah.
I can't even say that with a straight face. Quigg versus Valdez is a done deal. We announced that on threekingsboxing.com, way ahead of everybody else again. That fight, it's an interesting fight to me, man. I'm not high on Quigg, but I'm also not high on Valdez, man. Hey, Bo, how you see that fight playing out? Bo left.
He got his stuff on mute.
Yeah, 2K, go ahead, man. Why don't you let us know how you see that playing out, man? I've been interested in how you see that, actually.
Yeah, we touched on it. Me and Steve touched on it last night on the Four Corners Boxing Talk podcast. And, you know, I had a little bit more time to think about it. What I said last night, I said that Valdez would most likely run him over. And it's mainly because of the way Scott Quigg has looked in his last 3 fights. I think he had 3 fights after losing to Carl Frampton. I think he knocked out 2 of the 3 guys that he fought. And I still believe that Scott Quigg, to me, did not look that good. The Scott Quigg before Carl Frampton, you know, and you already know how I feel about UK level fighters. There's only a little over a handful that I consider actually elite in the entire sport of boxing.
Yeah.
Scott Quigg was one of those guys that could have been there, but he wasn't. I still thought he was a B-level fighter. That's why I had no problem picking Carl Frampton, whom at that time I thought was an elite level fighter coming out of the UK. I had no problem picking him to beat Scott Quigg. But he was still a decent fighter. But I feel that a guy at the B level who lost to Carl Frampton, who, in my opinion, lost something mentally in that fight. He's now kind of reduced himself to a little under a B level fighter. I mean, he's probably like B minus in my opinion right now. And Oscar Valdez is a young, hungry lion. I mean, he didn't look that great against Miguel Mariaga or anybody else since beating Evgeny Gradovic. But the fact that he beat Evgeny Gradovic the way that he did, that tells me that this kid can step it up when the competition gets a little more stiff. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I respect the fuck out of Evgeny Gradovic for what he did to Billy Dibb twice. One of those fights being on a only 2 weeks notice. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, wait. Say that again, because they don't know what the hell we're talking about.
Word. Let me dumb it down for the casuals. My bad. Billy Dibb at the time was a fighter who signed with 50 Cent SMS Promotions, and he was the IBF champion at 126. Evgeny Gradovic came out of nowhere as a replacement fighter for I don't remember who Billy Dibb was supposed to defend that title against at that time, but he pulled out. Evgeny said, hey, I'll take the fight, 2 weeks notice, and beat Billy Dibb, took his title. Well, he had a rematch clause. Billy Dibb fought him again, and Evgeny ended up knocking him the fuck out in the second fight. So that's where he became that's where he became a very respected fighter in that division. And Oscar Valdez just went out there and ran this kid over, man, like it was nothing. And that told me in that fight, even though that fight was 2 years ago, Valdez can step it up when the competition gets better. Scott Quigg is a better fighter, in my opinion, than Miguel Mariaga and the other guys that he's fought after Evgeny Gradovic. So I think that he'll do that again in this fight. He's going to step it up. I think the volume is going to be too much. What's his name? Scott Quigg can get caught in a firefight, just like any other UK fighter that has boxing ability, like Lee Selby, like Josh Warrington. All those guys have excellent boxing ability, but they get caught in firefights. And I think the same thing is going to happen here. And Oscar Valdez is going to put him to sleep, man. If you don't put him to sleep, you're going to beat him 9 rounds to 3.
And we know Valdez loves a firefight.
Exactly.
So you're going right into
he lives for that. He lives for
that. And to me, that's what makes the fight interesting. Because to me, I have always looked at Valdez like a fighter that's right there for the picking. Like eventually, he's going to run into that wrong guy. This is gonna fucking box his ears off, and I like Valdez. I like Valdez in this fight. The more I think about it, and then after hearing you, I definitely gonna pick Valdez because I'm definitely. It's hard.
I mean, me and you both favored Valdez last night.
Yeah, we favored.
Yeah,
Valdez,
we did. We sure did.
But he's right there for the picking. Scott Quigg could turn the clock back, which I don't think he can. And look like the fighter before Frampton, which I don't think he will. It could make it interesting, but it won't be. So, what day is this, Sebo? March.
It's March the 10th, and since right before we went on the air, I got a confirmation from Matchroom as well. This is an official fight. BoxRec they just posted it on BoxRec, and everybody ran it as in the works, and we ran it as official last night because I got confirmation from Top Rank, Valdez's promoter. But yeah, it's I got confirmation this afternoon from Matchroom, and it has just been posted to BoxRec. And as far as how I see the fight,
on ESPN, right?
Yeah, ESPN card should be an ESPN card on March the 10th. Coming to you live from Las Vegas. I mean, not Las Vegas, but Los Angeles. I'm sorry. It's StubHub Center, I believe.
Oh, that's fine. That's
another reason because it's going to be in his
backyard.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, he lives there, but I mean, he's listed as residing in Sonora, Mexico. But
you better knock that motherfucker out, and don't you even try to box in California because they only like one style.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Interestingly enough, in the transnational world rankings, Valdez is like ranked number 7 at featherweight, whereas Quigg's ranked number 5.
Oh wow! So he's ahead of Valdez.
Yeah. Yeah, interesting.
Yeah, and
I mean,
that makes sense
that's because he that long reign at super bantamweight. He was a super bantamweight champion for quite a while. I'm not sure how many defenses it was, but it was
there
up
for
there.
a while. Yeah. Bo,
Yeah, it was up there.
hey Bo, you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, and we can hear you perfectly. How you see this fight?
The Valdez and
Quigg,
Quigg fight.
yeah.
You know what, man? I like the fight. I've always felt between Oscar Valdez and Jojo Diaz, one of these guys is due to get starched. One of them is due.
I agree with that. I'm just not sure Quigg's the guy that can do it.
Yeah, that's the only thing. I don't know if Scott Quigg is the dude that can do it. It's a good fight. It's a good measuring test stick fight for Valdez. Valdez, the one thing about Valdez I like is he has been on the hunt to try to get one of these other champions in the ring with.
Yeah.
Right? I know Gary Russell, ain't going to defend his title but once a year. And then when he do defend it, he going to call out Lomachenko and then disappear again.
See you next summer.
Right.
Pretty much.
Next summer. I don't know about Lee Selby.
Oh wow. Hold on. Hold on, bro.
Say it again.
Thank you.
Say it again.
One more time.
Selby.
I can't do it twice.
Okay. Damn. Right, we're proud of you for getting it once. This is recorded, right? Everybody remember this day.
Yeah. I used all my motherfucking focus for just the one, goddammit. But I don't know what this guy's gonna do because I remember he supposed to fight Frampton, then they found out he had to fight Barrios. And Frampton said he wasted his time. So you don't know what he's gonna do. I know we got Abner Mares and Leo Santa Cruz. They're busy trying to figure, playing tug of war, who gonna fight who win and whatever the fuck. So I like this fight. Valdez got to stay busy. He does want to fight some of the other guys. It's a good fight, but like you said, Scott Quigg has improved, but I don't know if he improved that much to beat Valdez, in my opinion.
Hey man, you know what's highly disappointing?
That's interesting because I think.
Go ahead, Chrissy. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, man.
No, go ahead. Make your point.
I was just getting ready to say, when we just talked about this WBC rule, and he called it right there on the 1 year wait for Russell. What does that tell you? How long you got to fight a mandatory?
Exactly.
Huh?
Exactly. That's right there. That's the frustrating part for me in this division. Gary Russell's such a fucking talented fighter, man, that if he would just be busier, man, he could force his way into a lot of these good fights, man. He might not be Lomachenko, but these are the fights that are in his division. 2K, man, how you feel about a guy like that that's always calling somebody out, but is not really doing or willing to do the work that it takes to put himself in a position to fucking
that sounds very similar to Demetrius Andrade.
Yeah. Like I call them the skip to the front of the line dudes.
Yeah. The thing with Gary Russell is this, man. He has not gotten over the Lomachenko loss. He's one of the few people out there that thinks he actually won that fight. You know what I'm saying?
Where?
Yeah, him and his brothers. That's the few.
Yeah, basically.
The only time they think that is after they drink a few. Go ahead.
I'm telling you, man. But they really believe that. And believing that is the one thing that he only cares about. He doesn't give a fuck about nothing else. You know what I'm saying? Now, in my opinion, I'd like to see the rematch. But Gary Russell, dog, this nigga's not even in your division anymore. You gotta put in extra work now. Not only do you gotta beat names at 126, but then you gotta go to 130 and beat names there.
At least have a fight.
And he's not even active enough to do that.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say I'm good with people calling cats out. I love it. I like that shit. You know what I'm saying? I like that banter some them UK niggas would say. But what I can't stand is when guys do that and then they feel like they should get the fight immediately and ain't done shit yet. I can't stand that.
So basically what it is Gary Russell is acting like a scorned ex-girlfriend that can't get over
100.
being dumped.
No, his shit is worse. Gary Russell's acting like his girlfriend that came home and realized the lock's been changed or shit been set on the front of the house and the police was called on your ass.
and the dude was married.
Hey. He was married while y'all was living together.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
So this is some bullshit. I mean, it's man, I would have to do a whole nother show on just those two cats alone, man, because
yeah.
they literally warrant that much attention to what they're trying to do. Hey, 2K, you saw that interview that Charlo did with the guy just recently, where he asked the guy how many followers he had?
Shit, I have no idea.
Yeah,
that was Andretti.
Yeah. My bad. That was Boo Boo. Yeah, Boo Boo. That's what I meant to say. Yo, he asked the guy before the interview how many followers you have.
Why?
And I was gonna exactly. But my whole point is, motherfucker, how many fans you got?
They all live in Providence.
See, man, I've been waiting and waiting. Now I just feel like I'm gonna have to get on Boo Boo's ass, man. Finally, man.
I just gave you some new material. Oh, shit, you fucked up now. You on your own, homie.
2K, I'm gonna give you some more. He also claimed that fighting Darren Checo really don't do that for him. But you fought Willie Nelson, right?
Oh my God, man.
Yeah, that's the same interview. He did that in the same interview. You got it. I think it's on IFL TV.
All right, I appreciate that. I'm gonna check it out.
Yeah.
Little did he know that's one of that. They probably got more followers than any fucking body on YouTube for.
Yeah, IFL is pretty big.
Personally, I said I talked about this on Bo's channel, Truth and Facts About Boxing. I said, yo, like if a guy ever said that to me, I cut the fucking interview off right now. You know what? I don't need to talk to you. Peace.
Agreed.
Amen.
Like the fact that the guy kept going on with the interview, I gave him his props because you handled that shit professionally. But personally, me myself, man, I'd be like, man, fuck you, and walk away.
The funny part about that is, I was watching IFL like 6 years ago before we even any of us started, what we have today, and I watched that interview that they gave Peter Quillen, where Peter Quillen openly fucking ducked Gennady Golovkin. He openly ducked him. That was an IFL interview, man.
I remember.
And I always revert back to that interview when I talk about Peter Quillen and why I never really respected him.
I remember that. And I remember me telling people, well, he's from the other part of Brooklyn.
Hell yeah.
He ain't from my neck of the woods. You know what I mean?
You gotta understand. Peter Quillen, that dude took the name. I mean, I know he's half Cuban, but he ain't. He took the name of a full Cuban and don't even fight like the dude. You know what I'm saying?
Like, come on, man. Oh man.
Hey man, he ain't even get over that KO he had, man. Because I think he hasn't had one fight since then. And he didn't look really good in it. So it is what it is with him. But I have another
Sean Johnson.
Yeah, I think that was out in Vegas. It wasn't even on TV. So it is what it is, man. Congrats to him because he had a baby since that time, and I guess family life calmed his ass down. But whatever, it is what it is, man. If I don't see him again, I'll be all right. Real quick, man, I want to touch on something that we known for a while. It came down to why Guillermo I don't even want to call him El Chacal.
Nah, man. Nope.
I call him Guillermo El Quitter Rigo.
Hold on. Hey, both of y'all know Spanish. What's quitter in Spanish?
Oh, that's a fácil.
A fácil. There you go.
No. I mean, that's easy.
Oh.
Hey, Bo, you want to take a crack at it? You want to tell him? Or you want me to?
You say, how do you say quit in Spanish?
Yeah.
Quitter.
Guillermo Regandial.
Que se vaya a la pinga.
Yeah.
I'll say it. Wait. Let me say it in Spanglish. El Quito. El El señor Pichó.
That's like you basically saying
He has been stripped, which we knew he was going to be stripped for the WBA belt, and he's being removed from the rankings. I know it's a fucked up situation. I never seen a fighter lose a belt because he fought in another weight class for another sanctioning body. But I say fuck him. How you guys feel?
Yeah. I'm just saying, man. I was advocating for him not to get stripped before that fight. And afterwards, when he quit, I said, fuck it. I don't care about what happened to him because he knew what was going to happen prior to getting into that fight. Prior to getting into that ring with Lomachenko, they fucking told him. Why do I know that they told him? Because I knew about it. If I fucking know about it, then he does, right? They say, yo, if you lose, we're stripping you at 122 of the WBA title. And he still chose to go out of that fight in the worst way possible. So I said, fuck it. Matter of fact, not only take his belt, take the fucking money he made. You know what I'm saying? If you quit, if it's not a how do I say it, an injury that really means that you can't continue, like what David Hay had with his torn Achilles, and even he continued to fight. But that right there is an injury where it's like, all right, dog, you need to sit your ass down, bro. This fight is over, right?
I'll give you a perfect example. Brooke versus Spence. I know he eventually took the knee and didn't get back up, but he went a few rounds with a broken orbital bone in his eye.
Yeah, so man, that's a good one. But the Achilles injury is worse, in my opinion, because this nigga hobbling all over the ring.
Yeah, well,
fighting on one leg.
We did a show after that. I felt like he should have been finish the fight because I think he could have.
I agree, but my point is that happened. You know what I'm saying? And it was an injury that he really could have said, "Hey, I'm done," and we wouldn't have criticized him because that's a serious fucking injury, right?
Absolutely.
Rigo's injury is a common injury. All of us have had that because all of us are ex-boxers. We've all had that same injury.
Hey, I'm still waiting for the swelling to go down.
You know, right. We got permanent swelling. That shit ain't never going away. You know what I'm saying? So, come on, man. Like, there's no way in hell that I'm going to sit there and have sympathy for Guillermo Rigondeaux after he violated one of his core values as a fighter. And that's never quit, man. Fuck that. Nope. I'm glad they stripped him.
After he made fun of a fighter for quitting.
Yeah. Yep.
You know what? I don't know if you guys remember, you and C-Bone, we did a show right after that fight. And while we was talking, I told you guys, remember how I felt bad and I was advocating how fucked up the sanctioning body is for doing that? And I quote unquote, I said, I'm okay with that shit now.
It's sad too, bro, because we shouldn't be, you know?
I'm gonna play this down the middle, guys. I agree with everything y'all are saying, and I feel the same way. I don't give a fuck. I'm glad. You know what I mean? All that shit. I feel the exact same way because that motherfucker ripped my heart out that night, bro.
He was probably like one of my favorite fighters, man.
He was one of mine. Him and the guy he was fighting was by far my two favorite. They ain't even close.
I don't really claim fighters, but that was fucked up what they did. Go ahead, C.
But honestly, if I want to keep it real, I mean, it was the WBA done him wrong. You know what I mean? I know that.
Yeah, we know that.
I don't give a fuck. You won't see me doing an article on it.
That's what I'm saying. Hey, bro, you're half Cuban. You're a big time Guillermo Rigondeaux fan, or was, like we are. We all of us here are fans of Rigo. Myself, I hardly ever admit to liking a boxer because I'm always preaching love the sport before the name. But how do you feel?
Man, well, somebody has to voice the reason, right? So, as the elder person, as the person that has to keep things calm and together, and sometimes as the guy that got to hold you guys accountable in place. let me just say this. What they did to Guillermo Rigo was wrong.
Yeah.
We all know this, right? He knew he was going to be strict. When you look at what the WBA has been doing, they've been on some bullshit. Pretty much all of them have been on some bullshit. And he loses the belt for fighting a guy in another division, right? So with that being said, is it really wrong what they did? Now you feel how you want to feel, but the reality is, can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. The reality is this. If anybody says fuck him, you won't get no argument out of me. If you try to defend him, you won't get no help from me either.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Because what Rigo had was a mosquito bite on his fucking hand. That was a mosquito that he had on his hand. And I think I said this on the previous show when I said that comes from your hands not being wrapped right.
Yeah.
Properly. Because what did he hit for his hand to swell up like that? Well, absolutely fucking nothing.
Well, the air.
Your hands wasn't wrapped properly.
Yeah, the air. See, what happened was when he threw a punch, it hit air, so it hit something.
But you know what though? Take this into account too. From a business aspect, I think the WBA, if he'd have put up a very good fight and lost a close fight, they probably would have thought twice. But when you quit like that, and I say this all the time, from a business standpoint, ain't no value in this motherfucker now.
No.
He had value to us and the purists out there that love the skills and everything like that. But to go out like that, the way he did, you in your heart of heart, you have to know that you just probably ended your boxing career.
Well, put it in better perspective with this right here, right? And you knew what was at stake. And I tell the people all the time, because there's people out there that don't want to give Lomachenko credit, whatever. And I'm not going to tell people what to do. I'm just going to say this. Rigo sought out that fight. Lomachenko was cool being at 130, paying Rigo no fucking mind.
Yep.
Right? Rigo sought out that fight, okay? Rigo made fun, to put in perspective, he made fun of Nicholas Walters.
Yep.
Right? Then to add insult to injury, he was making statements like, these are the kind of things my grandfather told me about. Then at the end of it, a day later, your trainer comes out, no, I stopped the fight. Man, fuck out of here, man. and man,
He
I
told
like
me
Pedro.
that.
But it's like this, come on, dog. Let that man fall on that sword and take that shit himself, man. Don't fall. I ain't falling on the sword for another man's fuck up. I'm sorry, not me. I ain't doing it.
Man, you can watch the fight and see that Pedro is asking him if he's okay. Like, and Rigo's like, no, nope.
Shook his head.
His response is like, no, I'm not okay. And Pedro's like, really? And he leans in, and this is when the trainer asks the fighter, do you want to continue? He leans in and whispers in his ear, so the camera can't see his mouth moving. You see what I'm saying? Rigo bowed out of that fight 100%. There's no fucking debate about that, man. No debate about that.
So, yeah, it's wrong what the WBA did, but from a value standpoint, what money is it in him now? And that's what the WBA is looking at when they took him. I mean, they was going to do it anyway, but it's even more validates it, because it's like, what money? I mean, we weren't getting no money with you holding this belt anyway, because you wasn't fighting like that, motherfucker. So we wasn't making no money when you was holding the goddamn belt.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. You know, and I'll quote what I said in my channel. Yeah, motherfucker, I'm gonna quote myself. You know what I'm saying?
He does that from time to time, people.
Well, when you're a king, you can do that shit.
Yeah, exactly.
When you're a king, you can do that shit.
I said basically, and this goes into the value that Rigo had. He had a lot of value, or at least some value, when he held a belt, right? When he was a champion, the value that he had was that mandatories were going to be mandated to fight him, right? Moises Flores would have never gotten a ring with Guillermo Rigondeaux if he wasn't the mandatory for his belt. You see what I'm saying? Now that he no longer has a belt, he's a regular dude now. Who's really gonna fight him for nothing? You see what I'm saying?
What's the incentive to fight him?
There's nothing. He does. Okay.
Even though he lost,
None.
he's still a highly skilled fighter that could give a lot of the other fighters issues.
Well, this is the thing. They've already. There was the stigma on Rigo that he's a boring fighter and he's not a draw, right? The draw thing happened right? Because it was Vasyl Lomachenko, and everybody thought this was going to be a great fight. But when he quit out of the fight, and the fight was already fucking lackluster because of him, now people are going to be like, yeah, you drew against Lomachenko, but look how it turned out. Now motherfuckers really not going to back you. So the draw thing is over, right? And then you got the boring fighter thing, which is exactly what the fuck he displayed in the fight. So both of those things ring true now. So motherfuckers really had to get in the ring with Rigo right now just because they're desperate for a $100 paycheck.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen.
And then you got motherfuckers like me who are a fan of his. Hey, Bo, mute your shit. Bo, put your stuff. There you go.
I did it. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
I did it.
Hey, yo, and then you got cats like me that are a fan of his that I don't want to see him again. I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good. Like, the way you did that shit, man, and how that went down, man, is probably one of the most shocking and yet disgusting things that I ever seen somebody do in the ring, man. I was like totally like, what the fuck did I just watch?
Yeah.
I'm gonna say what Bo touched on about Pedro Diaz. Okay, if you look at the article, I did the article. I interviewed Pedro Diaz. All right, it was all I could do while he was talking to me to not to keep my mouth shut and not go wrong, wrong. You know,
Right.
but or something because he told me, he said Rigo felt. I've got the notes in front of me. That's the only reason I can tell him. Rigo felt a discomfort in his hand in round 2, and we let him continue to fight.
How?
This perhaps made him lose concentration. This perhaps made him lose concentration a bit. He could not develop the tactics that we had mapped out with him. Okay. What I think he landed 2 punches in round 2?
Not even.
I don't even remember that.
And I think
He
both
only
of them were
landed like
fucking
15 punches, man.
15 punches the whole fight. Yeah.
Hey, see? What makes that whole statement bullshit to me? See, this is what Cassie. Don't talk to me like I'm stupid. See, I hate when motherfuckers talk to me, especially when I've been in the ring. Right? What makes this bullshit to me, basically what you just said, is Rigo can't handle adversity. So have we not
exactly.
We seen him knocked down in fights, right? And got back up and finished the fight. We've seen it happen, right? So don't talk to me like this motherfucker can't outdo adversity. So you can get up from being knocked down, but you can't get over a hand. Get the fuck out of here. No, Pedro, I'm not buying that.
Yeah, he was hurt. Exactly. He was hurt by that one guy overseas.
Hisashi
Amagasa.
Yeah. And he was hurt in that fight. And he got back up and rearranged that dude's face, man. So
yeah.
You could miss me with the bullshit.
Yeah.
Period.
And it was, I'm gonna be honest, being in the media and stuff, I hear a lot of bullshit from these guys anyway.
You gotta take their quote. So it is.
I had to take the quote, but it was all I could do not to tell him, hey man, what the fuck? Why you think I'm a dumbass?
Well, you
think I'm fat? I'm that fat ass up in Connecticut, or the fuck?
Oh God.
You know what
I mean? He never passes up an opportunity. Yeah.
And I mean, really, do you think that's who I am? I mean, because buddy, I've done this quite a bit. And the bad part about it is the fucking gym he works out of in Miami. There's several guys that I fucking fought as amateur down there. You know what I mean? So they know who I am.
They know what they're doing. They know what happened. They're not going to come out and tell you, though.
Yeah, you're exactly right, Bo. 100% fucking correct. I felt like saying, man, so hold on, let me hang up and call you back because obviously your caller ID said dumbass calling. But
yeah, well,
I mean, fuck, man.
I have a lot of respect for Pedro Diaz. I got a lot of respect for fighters, trainers, and like beyond a shadow of a doubt. But when fighters do shit like this, when you act like what's his name, Tony Bellew acted after he beat David Haye, like he beat a healthy fighter. When you got guys that do shit like this shit makes me want to like, oh yeah, I hope you get knocked the fuck out.
Yeah.
Makes you want to root against them.
Yeah.
And I don't root against no fighter in the business, man, other than Adonis Stevenson.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And Billy. You know what? At first I was rooting against Billy Joe, but hey, I'm gonna tell y'all, man.
He growing on you?
Huh?
He growing on you?
Now he's not growing on me. He has moved up a notch from being Billy Ho. Now he's back to Billy Joe.
Hey, Billy Joe.
He's Billy Joe again. He moved up a notch.
Can you at least call him like?
Well, fuck, I didn't know you go from Billy Ho to Billy Joe. I thought you went from Billy Ho to William Joe or some shit like that.
William Joseph.
William, yeah.
William Joseph. Right.
I got it. William Joseph Liam Saunders.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't forget Liam. Actually, Liam might have to go first. Liam has a priority as a name over there in the UK. That's a priority name right there.
Yeah.
That's like in like in Japan, they use their last names as their first names a lot of the times. That's how it is in the UK with Liam.
I can't even talk shit, man. It's like I'm Hispanic, man. It seems like the only name we know is Jose. And shit. Jose and Hector. Jose and Hector.
Hector, yeah.
A lot of Miguel's too.
Yeah.
Hey, motherfuckers, try being half black and half Cuban with a name like Garrison. And then you come talk to me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make sure I cut this video. I'm gonna cut the shit out of this video and put that part in everywhere. Garrison.
Hell yeah.
Motherfucker sound like a police department.
If you'd like to read something Garrison writes, you can go to threekingsboxing.com.
No, bro. Garrison Township.
That's fucked up, man.
We love you, bro. Hey, man.
Hey,
Go ahead.
the first article that y'all two did together, man, he hit the inbox. Was Willie did said Garrison.
Yo, I had no clue who the fuck was that. I'm like,
Y'all should have seen that shit, man. At my wedding, when they said we are here to unite, and they said my real name, everybody looked around and were like, who the fuck?
Is that the people get married in here?
Look at this guy. Shit crazy.
Man, I knew that was his real name a long time ago, man.
Yeah,
Like,
I did too.
yeah, when I had him on my channel on Skype, his first fucking Skype profile was Garrison Bland. So I was like, who the fuck is Garrison Bland?
I've known it since he posted whenever you got your fiber certification. Remember when you was going to school for the fiber thing, you posted that picture. I was like, go. That's his initials. Gob.
Yeah.
G-O-B. And I was like, go Bo. I don't know how the fuck they get that. But
you know what? Fuck his name. He cool with me.
great guy, man. Great
guy. we got Shields fighting on the 12th. What do you look to see from her? 2K.
Oh, I see. Brutal knockout. I was watching Tori Nelson, and
yeah, I've been watching her too, man. She's floppy as fuck.
Yeah, she's old. She's 41 years old. You know, she only fights one way. She's very one-dimensional.
Yes.
Like you said, she's sloppy. She starts off if you watch her fights in the beginning of the fight,
very well.
She's technical in the beginning, but then she kind of just fades. The technicality of her style just fades out, and she ends up just trying to brawl her opponent for the rest of the fight. That's what her beat the fuck up.
You know what I noticed too? As the fight goes on, there's a lot of arm punches being thrown.
Oh yeah.
So see how you see that.
That's common. That's fairly common in women.
Yeah, I noticed that. I hate it, but I noticed that. See how you see it the same way?
I see -5. That's 5th round or less, probably.
Bo, I know how you see it, but wait, before you go into that, hold on. I'm a flip it on you. Christina Hammer is making her U.S. debut. After you're done, Bo, with your assessment of Shields, let me know how you feel about Hammer coming to the States, and right after 2K, you could go right after him, and then Chris. Go ahead, Bo.
All right. Listen, man, she's fighting, like you said, the Nelson chicken. I've been watching her too. She's very sloppy. Her balance is not good at all. No. Fighting somebody like Clarissa Shields like that, who in her last fight has shown that she's starting now to put it together, going back to technically Clarissa Shields that we saw is looking good. So she has about as good a chance as a snot bubble on somebody's nose with tissue in their hand. So that fight's over. But Christina Hammer, this is the thing. Clarissa Shields is going to have to look impressive because she has to send a message to Christina Hammer, because Christina Hammer's looking at Clarissa Shields like food. And she is. I'm sorry. Christina Hammer's looking at Shields like, I'm about to get that ass, young girl. And she going to have to send a message back to her like, no, it ain't going to be as easy as you fucking think. Because the thing about Christina Hammer, she's fighting a TBA, and TBA normally means somebody that they, that they standing outside.
Somebody's about to die.
Right. And they, wait a minute, they standing outside, they looking at the crowd. Hey, wasn't you an amateur fighter yet? Go get dressed. That's what a TBA.
Ricky, what's the goddamn? I always forget his name on the Great White Hype, man. The one they brought out of, he was a I always forget his fucking name.
I forget his name too, but I know exactly who the fuck you talking about. Because I must have watched that movie over 1,000 times, so I should really know his name, but I always forget it.
His last name is Conlon, but I can't remember his first name.
Yeah.
Right. And the thing about Christina Hammer is, Christina Hammer she's gonna send a message to Clarissa Shields. She gonna knock this girl the fuck out.
Yeah.
Knock out cold. And she gonna send a message to Shields. That's why Shields gonna have to do the same. She got to send the same kind of message. So I like the fact that they're doing this. I think Christina Hammer is, she's and me and 2K used to talk about this. It was like it was a smart move that Clarissa Shields, people like, no, we're not gonna fight Christina Hammer this year. We're gonna wait a minute. And you bet.
I was trying to tell people that, you know what I'm saying? That she needs a couple more fights. Hey, 2K.
Yes, sir.
Why don't you let our fans, who probably some of them don't even know who Christina Hammer is, why don't you let them know what she's all about, man?
Well, Christina Hammer is at this point in time my number 3 pound for pound fighter in the world in women's boxing, and that's only behind the fine ass Cecilia Brækhus and the okay looking
watch it now, motherfucker.
Talk about my side piece? He talking about my side piece like that.
Don't try to be talking about her. Hey, listen, she's retired now, though.
She ain't a boxer no more anyway.
Yeah, she's in the UFC. That's true. So she moves up to number 2. Serrano's trying to go to MMA now. So yeah, Hammer moves up to number 2. She is only second behind disputed women's fighter, and that's of course Cecilia Brækhus. So the thing is with Hammer is she's an excellent boxer, man. She doesn't have a lot of power, but she's a smart fighter, and she knows how to place her punches very well. She knows how to keep fighters on the end of a jab. Now, the thing with girls, a lot of times with women fighters, we talked about Tori Nelson being sloppy, but let's be real, a lot of them are very sloppy. Yeah, right? A lot of them are.
Like
right?
Nikki Adler was that way.
Absolutely.
So
the girl, who's the girl that I can't think of her name. Cecilia Brækhus beat her twice, but she was undefeated before she beat her the first time.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I forget her name. Oh shit.
Yeah, but she was undefeated. But if you watch her fight, Cecilia was like, how the fuck was she undefeated? Well, the reason is because majority of women are slow. Sloppy, excuse me. So when you get fighters like Christina Hammer, Cecilia Brækhus, what's her last name? Her last name is Delphine. Jesus, I can't think of her fucking first name, but she's from Germany. Excellent boxer. When you get those women and you see that they're able to instill more of the technical side of the sport without being so sloppy within their style, well, then you got to look at them and be like, man, these are going to be the top girls of the game. It's going to be hard to lose to them. Her name is Delphine Persoon, the girl from Germany. I just remembered it.
Yeah.
So, Clarissa Shields has got a lot that she needs to be looking at. Now, the good thing is, in her favor, she's the bigger fighter. I know that Christina Hammer has fought at super middleweight before, but she's a middleweight right now. And Clarissa Shields is at super middleweight. And she came into the sport at super middleweight, I believe. I think she had Maybe her first fight was at middleweight and then she moved up. But my point is she's a bigger girl. You know what I'm saying? So that could be the advantage, especially given her style. That could be her advantage. But this is an elite motherfucker we talking about, man. You know what I'm saying? So
the girl fighter that you're thinking about is Jessica Balagoon.
Nah, she fought Cecilia Brækhus.
Because she fought her twice too.
Yeah,
Michaela Lauren.
Yeah, thank you. There it is, Lauren.
Yeah.
Yep. So, I mean, this is an elite fighter that Clarissa Shields is gonna be. They're gonna try to match her up with. I really believe. Now, you know how I feel about grooming fighters. I am okay with grooming prospects. I'm not okay with grooming champions. I have to stay true to my fucking word, man. When I say I'm not okay with grooming champions, even though I feel Clarissa Shields should be groomed, she fucked up and won 2 belts, dog.
Exactly.
So if they put her in the ring with Christina Hammer next, so be it. But it's gonna
be a dies, but you know it'll be an interesting fight. She'll definitely be serve herself well if she takes this fight and another one.
Yeah.
At least give herself 2 fights before you step in there with the big dog.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll see how they play that out. So
exactly.
With that being said, we come to an end. So
let me touch on one thing if you don't mind, man.
Chris, go ahead.
Okay, today I've seen some reports coming in that Alexander Povetkin was now the mandatory for.
Wait. When you come on my show, you got to change that Povetkin. You got to say his last name correctly. It's P-E-D Vetkin.
P-E-D Vetkin. Go ahead. All right. And first thing I want to say is Hammer does have an opponent now. It's Lisa Garland, I believe.
Okay.
The second thing is early today, some false reports surfaced that WBA has Joshua's mandatory through the WBA is Alexander Povetkin. Well, that's not true. All right, he is the #1 ranked guy at the WBA now, but he is not the mandatory. So if you see that report, that's not true. All right, he did come out in the January rankings as #1 ranked WBA guy, but he's not. I mean, the fact is the WBA ain't mandated nothing. All right, and if they want to, they can still mandate Char as being Joshua's, mandatory. So, but they haven't mandated nothing.
So basically, what the WBA gives you, like 18 months?
If you're a unified champion, yeah.
Okay, so we don't got to worry about that. They'll find a way to use that if against Wilder. If Wilder gets past Ortiz, not to fight him. Like, oh, we got to take this guy first.
Man, if anybody thinks that fight's happening in 2018, they're fooling themselves.
Yeah. So it is what it is.
I know, and I got to report, what I'm told by, Wilder's team, and I got to report what I'm told by Joshua's team. And you see me write several articles from both sides saying that the fight was next or it was going to happen this year. But I would be shocked.
I believe it when I see it. So, C-Bone, why don't you tell them since you're right there, why don't you tell the people out there where they can find you?
You can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Four Corners Boxing without the G on the end. You can check us out on blogtalkradio.com and on internet radio, iHeartRadio. It's the Four Corners Boxing Talk Show. That's me and Willie the Kid. You can also follow Four Corners Boxing Talk on Facebook at facebook.com /Four Corners Boxing Talk. You can also find me at threekingsboxing.com. I'm editor-in-chief there. And I'm also on the Three Kings Boxing broadcast, live broadcast with two of these other gentlemen on the panel, 2K and Willie the Kid. And we're coming, guys. We're coming. Everything is in association with threekingsboxing.com, and it's all sponsored by the movement.
That's right. Bo? Bo, you there? Hey, you old ass motherfucker, you on mute. Well, I think Bo left, man.
Bro, he's on vacation.
So, 2K, why don't you tell people where they can find you, man?
Of course, man. My personal channel, Prodigy of Boxing Talk. All of these platforms that see pretty much just named Four Corners Boxing Talk, Three Kings Boxing Talk, of course, here on Eastwick, Colossal Boxing Talk, Bo's show, Truth and Facts About Boxing. Of course, we all contribute. We're the actual co-owners of threekingsboxing.com. All the information you see on there is provided by a lot of different contributors from the United States and abroad. Man, we're everywhere. You're gonna start seeing my face all over the place. So a lot of you cats that can't stand me, man, get used to it.
Hey,
Talk.
Exactly.
Eastwick Boxing UK is coming out on YouTube too. So
Absolutely, I forgot about that. Yep, thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Eastwick UK. My man AC over there in the UK, man, he's coming out with his channel. I'll definitely be on that as well. All of that is part of the movement, as my man C-Bone mentioned. And like you said, man, you're going to see us all over the place, man. You're going to hate it, but you're going to love it at the same time.
I swear to God, I co-host like 10 shows.
Right.
Hey, Bo, you back or you still going, man?
I'm back.
All right, go ahead. Why don't you tell the fans where they can find you?
Man, if you want to find me outside of these guys talking shit about me and calling me an old ass man, which I'm not.
Whatever, Grandpa.
These motherfuckers say.
Hey,
Hey, Bo, I forgot to tell you, man, your Social Security office sent your email they said you've got another 3 years for your approved.
That motherfucker Social Security number one. That's number one.
Fuck that joke. I'm gonna fuck y'all up. You can find me at all 61175 self at Truth and Facts About Boxing.
Oh Lord.
As always, I tell you guys, man. And on Twitter, capital T for Truth _ cap FX Box 1 Eastwick, Eastwick Boxing. Shout out to Jarrell and hope his mom does well, man. Best prayer, everything goes out to him. And of course, hey, this is a motherfucking movement, man. We coming. Be down with us or get out the way. But either way it is, either you can join us or get ran the fuck over. And it is what it is. Yep, and it is what it is. We bust caps, bust shots, and we put our hands up to fight too.
Hey, 2K, watch this, 2K. Hey, Bo, you got a co-host on that Truth and Facts on YouTube?
Fuck you, Willie.
Damn. Oh, that's how we doing it. All right, well, I'm Willie the Kid, man. You can find me pretty much wherever these guys need me to be. It is what it is. Nobody's my boss. Nobody makes me want to do what I do. I just love talking about boxing. It's my passion. I love it. The guys on this panel, they all love it. I mean, this is probably our first love. You know what I mean? And it's probably broken our hearts many a times. But it is what it is. We love what we do. We're going to come 2018. You're going to see us plastered all over. We're going to be at fights. We're going to be every fucking where. threekingsboxing.com. Check that site out, man, because we hit the news first, man. We give you all the breaking shit first. And I mean like by weeks and sometimes even a month ahead of time. So make sure you follow us on there. I'm a co-founder of that. We got Three Kings Boxing on YouTube. We got Spreaker, Three Kings Boxing. That's coming soon. We have Colossal Boxing Talk with Big Cool. We have 2K with the Prodigy of Boxing. We got Four Corners Boxing Talk. We got Truth and Facts. That's with me, Bo, and Bernard whenever he decides he's cool enough to hang out with us.
You kind of hesitated before you mentioned him.
Hey, man. Hey, man. Sometimes my check just clear. I don't know about Bernard, but my check clear. You know what I mean? So it is what it is, man. Big shout out to him. Big shout out to all the guys. We're going to be everywhere. We're going to be hopping on each other's shit. Like, this is what we do. We family. And you guys let us know what y'all think, man. At the end of the day, we out.